Meet Aryan. He's 24, works as a product designer in Bengaluru and earns 1.2 lakhs per month. By every traditional metric of the Indian middle class, Aryan has made it. But has he? If you peel back the layers of his life, आपको एक ऐसी reality पता चलेगी that is silently consuming an entire generation of young Indians. Let's look at Aryan's Sunday, which begins with a brunch in Indiranagar. The aesthetic is beige, the coffee is artisanal, and the bill for two is 2,800 rupees. He pays using a credit card, specifically a premium card that offers him lounge access, which he uses twice a year, for an annual fee of 3,000 rupees. He drives there in a compact SUV he bought 6 months ago. It costs 14 lakhs. He put 2 lakhs down his entire savings from his first year of work and financed the rest. The EMI is 24,000 a month. He pulls out his iPhone 17 Pro Max he bought on a no-cost EMI of 6,500 to take a picture of the avocado toast. By the time Aryan goes to bed that night, he looks successful and feels posh. But physiologically, his cortisol levels are spiking because in reality, the math doesn't add up. And deep down, he knows he is one layoff away from disaster. This is the hidden cost of looking rich in your 20s. It is not just financial, it is a psychological and physiological tax that India's Gen Z is paying for a lifestyle they cannot actually afford. Hi, I'm Vanshika, and let's be real guys, we've all been Aryan at some point. Psychologists call this the spotlight effect, amplified by the man in the car paradox. It's that constant kira in our brain telling us that everyone is watching, judging and noticing me. But in reality, nobody cares. Most people are too busy thinking about their own lives to care. And then, when you see someone driving a Porsche or Ferrari or any luxury car, you don't think like, wow, that person is amazing. Instead, you actually start imagining yourself sitting in that car. We see influencers using luxury products they probably didn't even pay for. They look happy. Our brain connects that product with happiness and we start obsessing over it. Similar to how recently on social media, everyone was suddenly obsessed with matcha. Everyone wanted to go to Pilates or the Labubu trend, where everyone on the internet were going crazy for a doll. This exact tendency is what Morgan Housel famously described as man in the car paradox in his book, The Psychology of Money. In India, this has mutated into what we call as the validation tax. Every time Aryan buys a pair of sneakers worth 8,000 rupees or upgrades to the latest tech, he is paying a tax for societal approval, which does give him a short-term dopamine hit. But soon it fades away. Now, the joy of a new car is gone, but that EMI will last for 5 years. The chronic stress of maintaining this image creates a physiological state known as allostatic load. Just like how for Aryan, the fight or flight response is constantly triggered not by a tiger, but by the payment due texts. Let's look at the actual math, and this is where it gets scary. Aryan makes 1.2 lakhs, but after the tax and PF cut, he's got 95,000 in hand. Now, let's look at where that 95,000 goes. He's paying 35,000 in rent just to live in a premium society with a view. Then there's 24,000 ka EMI for the car and another 6,500 for the iPhone. That's over 60K gone. Add in the gym, Netflix, the maid, the cook, that's another 8,000. And of course, the weekends. You can't live in Indiranagar and stay home, right? So he's spending at least 15,000 a month just for drinks and dinner. By the time he's done, he has 6,500 rupees left. That's it. This is where the tragedy lies. Aryan has only 6,500 rupees left for savings, medical emergencies, travel or investments. Even after being in the top 5% earners of India, his solvency ratio is worse than a daily wage earner who saves 500 a month in a steel box. According to 2024 Deloitte survey, 55% of Gen Z in India live paycheck to paycheck. This isn't because salaries are low. It's because the baseline for acceptable living has artificially inflated. Now, the definition of dignified life has shifted from good food and a home to aesthetic cafes and luxury brands. The zero savings part is bad. But what's even worse is the opportunity debt. When 60% of your income is stuck in EMIs, you can't take risks. Let's say Aryan hates his boss and the job is getting toxic. Hence, he wants to join a cool startup for a slightly lower salary but better growth. But he can't. Not because he's not capable, but because he literally cannot afford a pay cut because those EMIs don't care about his mental health, right? और उसके लिए he will have to stay in a job he hates. Albert Einstein called compounding the eighth wonder of the world, and Aryan is doing exactly the opposite. Think about it. If Aryan invested that 24,000 car EMI into a simple Nifty 50 index fund for the next 5 years, instead of buying the car at a conservative 12% return, he would have made 19.5 lakhs in liquid cash by the time he is 29. But now, at 29, he will have a 5-year-old car worth maybe 6 lakhs and zero cash. That 13.5 lakh difference is the literal cost of looking rich. And the relationship strain is not just about the bank balance. Look at the Reddit threads. They are full of stories of couples postponing marriages or kids because they don't feel settled, even after earning more than enough. But their lifestyle inflation eats up every rupee they need to start a family. People are literally taking out personal loans at 12 to 24% interest just to have a Pinteresty wedding, digging a financial grave before the marriage has even started. So then, how do we exit this matrix? It requires a shift from looking rich to being wealthy, because usually you can't do both at the same time. So here's what you can do. Do not spend more than 30% of your take-home pay on rent. If you live in Bangalore or Bombay, this is hard. But looking rich often means renting in the trendy area. Move 5 kilometers away. The cool factor of your PIN code is not worth more than your financial freedom. Then while getting a car, think about function over flex. See, unless your car is an asset that generates income, it is a liability. So, the reliable rich move is buy a second-hand hatchback for 4 lakh rupees. Now, you don't have to pay monthly EMIs and that 24,000 stays in your pocket every month. Next, when you want to buy something for status, say a watch, phone or shoes, wait for 3 days. That dopamine rush usually dies down after 48 hours. If you still want it after day 3, maybe it's a real need. However, 90% of the time, the urge just passes away. Lastly, go through your last 10 purchases, ask yourself brutally, did I buy this because I like it or because I wanted someone else to see me with it? If the answer is latter, you are just paying the validation tax. See, real wealth in your 20s isn't about a Balenciaga hoodie, Gucci bag, or a trip to Bali. It's more about the ability to have financial freedom and a secured future. And you know what? The real wealth is sleeping 8 hours a night peacefully because you don't owe a single rupee to anyone. The hidden cost of looking rich is your freedom. Don't sell your 30s to pay for the illusion of your 20s.